Zel Boy Army, welcome to another spicy video on the channel. This is a must watch. In this video, I'm going to be giving you top attacking tips that are going to help take you from gold to elite. Even if you're already an elite player, you're a silver player, these are still going to be helpful for you. This one is going to be full of lots of different helpful gameplay tips, from how to use tricks, when to use them, different things about the game that you might not have realized before, how to turn chances into goals. This video is going to have lots of different examples of ways that you can improve your attack and take your game to the next level. Thank you for the support lately on the channel. If you're new around here, I'd appreciate you subscribing every day. New videos dedicated to helping you guys get better at FIFA. That's what this channel is all about. Let's get into it. The first attacking tip we are going to talk about is one of the most important ones. It is turning your chances into goals. The extra pass, one of the biggest skill gap separators, and I see this all the time in coaching when I play people in weekend league rivals, is that a lot of people aren't very good at taking the chances. And making the extra pass is this attacking tip. This clip here is from a coaching session I actually had today, where the person I was coaching was very good, but quite often he would miss good chances because he wouldn't guarantee them. Making your chances guaranteed is absolutely vital. And if you can start to do it more, you will score a lot more goals. And by scoring a lot more goals, you will get a lot more wins automatically. The extra pass, here, we'll show you an example of it. So here, he ball rolls in. And if this guy is not here, then fair enough. Shoot. If you shoot across goal there, it is probably a 50% chance from there. If he shot from there across goal, it's probably like an 80-90% chance. If he does a pass across goal there, it is probably a 99% chance. The pass will pretty much never miss, and the shot will never miss, but the chance is always there for something to happen. But you are nearly guaranteeing the goal here. And what does he do? He shoots. And when he shoots, he ends up messing up the chance. If he'd have just passed there, he'd have had a tap in, effectively an open net, and gets a guaranteed goal. It is 1-0 at this point in this game. If he can make it 2-0, that is a big difference. Turning your chances into guaranteed goals, lifting your head up, looking at the options, it's going to make a huge difference. This is another example of the extra pass from my weekend league. This is maybe overdoing it, some might say, but for me, if I did not do this, I would not have scored. So you can see here, I'm always looking to create the space. There, I could maybe shoot on Davy's weak foot, which already isn't a guarantee, but if I do shoot there, I think it is going to get blocked. I do the extra pass, I see Eusebio in space, take a touch out of his feet, and I shoot across goal. That was a much better chance. When I say play the extra pass, it doesn't just mean for an open net, it just means playing that extra pass when you otherwise might have shot to get a much better chance. FIFA, you can't guarantee everything. It's not the most consistent game. So you want to put the percentages in your favour by turning chances into better ones. As you try and make the step from gold to elite, one of the things that you might start to encounter more and more is keeper movement. Keeper movement is something, in my opinion, that probably shouldn't even be in the game, because in good gameplay, keeper movement's great, and it is a thing where you can predict and try outplay your opponent. In bad gameplay, which we often get on weekend league rivals, like the servers aren't great, it often becomes a guessing game. But it's something that is in the game, so you need to know about it. If you don't know about keeper movement, basically we'll watch it here. You can see here, his keeper's there, and the keeper normally wouldn't do this. He moves his keeper that way. To move your keeper, you click the right stick in, and then you move the right stick whichever way you want the keeper to move. So there, he'll have clicked the right stick in and moved him up. Here, we'll rewind it a little bit. So I'm counter-attacking. You can see here, quick passes using runs. All these different clips are going to have lots of different things, but focus on one thing. Here, I could shoot first time. I don't, because I want to take a touch to set myself. He's not rushing his keeper out, so I don't need to rush the shot. I wait for the keeper movement. A lot of the time, people have a plan of exactly how they're going to finish, and they just take a touch and just shoot there regardless. He moves his keeper there expecting that. I wait for the keeper movement, and I shoot. If you can be patient, bait keeper movement, expect keeper movement, it's going to help. You might not know where they're going to move the keeper first time. Some people, though, often show patterns. When you're playing people, you need to adapt to how they play. People show patterns in the way they play. They might always pass the same way. They might always defend the same way. They might always move the keeper the same way. Look for the patterns and exploit it. So if you see someone moving the keeper and you've got time, wait for it and then shoot in the other corner. On any given FIFA, knowing the right skill moves and ways to break your opponent down is important. On FIFA 19, the La Croqueta was insane. On FIFA 20, from memory, there wasn't really that strong a trick. Dragbacks were pretty good, but there wasn't any trick that was like a must-do. On this FIFA, if there's a standout trick that survived the whole year so far, it is the bridge dribble. My content, generally speaking, I am not going to try to teach you how to just exploit broken things. I don't think right now in the game there is a trick that is absolutely broken. The bridge was, but they fixed the broken side of it, but it is still amazing. But what I will do with my content is tell you what works on the game. My content, I like to say, is trying to FIFA proof you. So it's gonna, if you take tips from what I say, like even like things like the extra pass, keep movement, those are things that are gonna work in the next FIFAs. But with skill moves, they tend to change from year to year. And I'll always tell you what the best ones are. And right now, the bridge is one of them. So you want to master the trick. You can see here, I'm passing about. One of the things on this game that's really good is controlling the tempo, not doing anything stupid, wait for the striker pass to open up, pass to the striker's feet, get the bridge out, and even on Pele's weak foot, it is an easy finish. The angle you want to do the bridge at, you basically, like I said, you always want to look to get the pass to the striker, get a one-on-one. The bridge works best at like anywhere from this angle down to about there, on this side of the box, on the other side of the pitch, on that side. Do that, jump across, and then it's an easy finish across goal. You'll need to watch for the keeper movement, but the bridge like that is a very good way at beating people who dive in or aren't jockeying and covering behind them. One mistake that I see so many people make on FIFA, and it's been a big thing on FIFA 20 and FIFA 21, is not using width enough. I find this is a mistake I often make. When I'm not playing well, what tends to happen is, if I'm not consciously making an effort to not do this, I end up just focusing all my play down the middle. Yes, most goals on FIFA are going to come from passing to someone in the middle and making a chance that way. But if you're not using width at all, you become predictable and it's a lot easier to defend against you. Let's watch an example of using width here. So I've got 4 men in the centre of the pitch. I go out wide and look what happens. I pull his fullback out of position. His fullback doesn't mark there. So then I did have a through ball in behind. His centre-backs there mark that through ball, so it opens up more space for me there. Now I have more space in the middle. The fullback's been pulled out. His centre-backs are all over the place. I can go down the middle. I'll show this clip back. This software's really annoying sometimes. If anyone knows about software for watching videos back, please let me know. But you can see there, the width there's pulled him out. The centre-backs have been pulled out by that. And then there, I take a ball roll. I could have gone there and finessed it, but I think the ball roll to quickly set myself for a near post shot was the best option. So there's 2 main things we're talking about. Width, using it to stretch your opponent, pull men out wide, because if you don't go out wide at all they have to do is defend down the middle. But you can see when I go out wide, it pulls players out, means they can't defend essentially, stretches your opposition, makes you more predictable, opens up space in the middle, and then there, taking an extra touch to make it a guaranteed goal. These things are all important. I mentioned this a lot on streams, in coaching sessions, I've mentioned it in random videos, but I don't think I've ever massively talked about it. Using kickoff. If you do not know about this, get to know about it. Kickoff, in my opinion, and pretty much any top players on this game, when you talk to them, is a time where for some reason, it's not 100% always happening, which makes it hard to prove, but in my opinion, it's without doubt. When you get a kickoff, if you use the kickoff properly, a lot of the time, defenders don't react as well, shots seem a bit better, you get a bit more space, and it is easier to score from a kickoff. I feel this happens until the ball goes out of play. So if you get the ball back off your opponent's kickoff, you might be able to do what I call a counter kickoff. I think this also happens in the 45th and 90th minute as well of games. So the last minute of halves, I feel, are like kickoffs as well. So you want to use these to your advantage. One thing I see a lot of people do is they get the ball from kickoff and they just run forward. That is not clever. What ends up happening there is you quite often end up running into an 8v1 situation. Even with a kickoff boost, you are not going to be able to score an 8v1 against anyone decent. Anyone who you should be able to beat, maybe you can do it. But against good players, you're not going to be able to break them down like that. So for me, I spend a couple of minutes building up my kickoff, going backwards, building up the possession, waiting for the space to start to open up. You can see here, I'm passing it around. I'm not giving the ball away. I'm playing quite smart, waiting for the space. And now see, the gaps are just starting to open up a little bit. I'm being patient. I'm waiting for that. The defense just doesn't seem as aggressive. Now look at this. The space is opening up more and more. I go there. I get even more space. His defender's just backing off. That's Maldini. He's not really doing anything. The space opens up. Davies makes a run. Nobody marks him. And I score within 3 in-game minutes. I built the kickoff up, let the space get more, and I scored from it. So many people never use this and don't even know about it. So if you didn't know about it, there you go. Use your kickoffs. Take your time. Don't rush them forward. Make sure you get the last attack of a half to try and get this advantage. If you didn't know about this, I'd be interested. Please let me know in the comments. If you've never seen someone press you and make it really hard to get the ball forward or just to keep the ball, you have not played FIFA 21. The press on this game is disgusting. I think we could all agree on that. Let's watch me getting out of the press. So I'm defending quite well here. Stand my ground. And then now you can see his team just rush forward like hungry pack of wolves. When the people lose the ball and they go straight like that, you know that they've got press after possession loss or team press or constant pressure on. When this happens, you are very at risk of conceding a goal if you have the ball around here and are not careful. Beating the press and counter-attacking is a very good way of scoring, but to beat the press, you have to get past their forwards and midfield. One way of doing it is passing and then quick passing. Software's doing that thing again. So you can see here, I defend him, stand him up, and then I see him running forward. I pass and instantly look to the man in space. Then I start to go forward. I use the options. I pass again there. I could have turned and passed to Eusebio, I was already through, but I wanted to make it guaranteed. And then I pass out wide to him. I do the ball roll. I do mess the ball roll up a bit, to be honest. Using the right tricks when you get one-on-one, that's another attacking tip. I messed it up. I should have done a touch earlier. But you can see there, I counter-attacked at pace. I beat the press. And I turned. So let's look when I get the ball. 71-20. Quick one-touch passing to beat the press. Use the men in space. Don't force the through ball here. Go back to Rooney. Go to Eusebio. And then I should have scored a little bit quicker. But I scored in 1 minute 30. 1 minute 30 in-game minutes. I counter-attacked and beat the press. Knowing when to counter-attack is important. When you're getting pressed, counter-attacking is vital. I used that and I caught my opponent out. One thing a lot of people don't really take into account is that the way you defend also affects your attack. They say often the best defense is a good offense, or the best offense is a good defense. By being more aggressive in your defense and pressing, you are going to be allowed to attack in a different way. So here you can see at this but the white guy's behind the black one is on the radar. He gets in front. I've used a more aggressive pressing tactic to dominate my opponent. It's allowed me to counter-attack and his men are not in a good position here. I use that press to make a chance. Here, I play the extra pass like I said earlier, and it is a beautiful goal that has all come from a quick press. I lose the ball here. I've got the press on. I switch quick, cover him, and it ends up leading to a goal that if I wasn't being aggressive, would not have happened before. Pressing, being more aggressive, will lead to more attacking options. I briefly mentioned it earlier, and the final attacking tip I'm going to have for this video is knowing when to counter, and I'm going to throw you an extra mechanic in as a little treat at the end of this tip. Knowing when to counter is important. So often on this game, people play at one tempo, and by that I mean all they do is they get the ball and they just rush it forward. When you do this, you are predictable. If you can take anything away from this video, not being predictable in your attack is the #1 tip I would give you. Being predictable is bad, it's not helpful, and it is going to end up messing you up and making you easier to defend against. Here, you can see I've got a lot of men around me, somewhat the press, and because he's got 4 men in my box, I know I can counter. I use the radar to get out of that, and here, I know that I've got a lot of men forward. If I was not got the men in space, if he was marking them better, I would not counter as quick. Going backwards, slowing the game down to then go forward sometimes is the best option. Here, the mechanic I was talking about as a treat is the double tap. If I just do a normal through ball there, there is a good chance he slides and gets it. The double tap lifts it above. And then here, same again. If I do a normal through ball, he probably slides and gets that. The double tap just causes what I'd say more cheese, more times where the opponent thinks they can get it and they can't. It's a very good extra pass in the box. And then I do an extra pass again to guarantee it. I think that's a great clip to finish. I've kind of beat the press. I've known when to counter. I've used a double tap pass. This is a beautiful attacking goal that comes out of nowhere. My opponent gets caught off guard. And then at the end of it, I finish it off with, rather than going for a finish, I tap it across for an easy goal. And there we go. Boys, we've talked about lots of different attacking tips in this video. We've talked about using skills effectively, where to use them, when to counter, how to beat the press. What else did we talk about? Let me get my clip thing up. Making guaranteed goals with the extra pass, beating the press, lots of different things. I appreciate the support, boys, so much on the channel lately. You guys have been killing it. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. If there's any content you want to see specifically, please let me know. As always, keep it spicy.